Hi everyone, I'm Hannah and I just wanted to share something with you that really encouraged me last week. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a head teacher at a small Church of England primary school just outside of Odeon. It's a job I feel very called to. I love it very much. It doesn't obviously come without its challenges, but I'm normally quite resilient and I can cope with most things pretty well. However, obviously it's been particularly challenging over the last year or so. And at the start of this term, with all the changes and uncertainty and sudden announcements about schools, my resilience levels were feeling quite rock bottom, to be honest. I was finding that sort of the normal day-to-day things that I'd be able to cope with quite well, I was finding quite overwhelming. And it was hard. I am fortunately blessed with a really great team. We're all very close. We support each other really well, which has been really important in this time. And they were certainly aware that I was finding things quite difficult. And a friend said to me at the start of last week, she said, "Hannah, you're trying to be everything to everybody." And that was certainly true. I was trying to serve my school community as best I could at a really difficult time, and probably not acknowledging that actually I couldn't give everybody what they needed. The families at home, the children learning remotely, the children in school, the staff who were having to adjust to a very different way of doing things and had anxieties of their own. And then at home, we decided to send the boys into school. We had no choice, really, with our circumstances and me needing to be in school full time. That came with quite a bit of guilt about sending them in. And then there was also, honestly, guilt about not having to homeschool them, which lots of my friends were having to do and were finding really difficult. So my resilience levels were really low. And last week, I think it was Tuesday or so, one of my teachers sent me a really lovely, encouraging message, just the right time in the day. And sort of embedded in that message were the words, "Don't be a Martha all of the time. Don't forget to be a Mary as well." And I sort of glossed over those words at the time. I couldn't, in all honesty, quite recall the details of that story. And I just carried on with my day. But about an hour later, I was sitting planning one of our daily online assemblies, which have had to become quite normal, doing things virtually. And I was looking for a story that linked to our theme of that week, which was worries, managing your worries. And I was doing a bit of Googling and up popped Mary and Martha story. And I just stopped in that moment. I thought, okay, that's the second time those two names have popped up today. Maybe I should just take a moment and remind myself of the story. And I'm just going to stop now and remind you of the story as well from Luke's Gospel. At the home of Martha and Mary. As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." And that provided a lot of comfort and guidance for me, actually, in that moment. I definitely took that as a sign to just find more opportunities to stop, to be present in the moment, to not try and rush around trying to make sure everybody else has got everything they need, is okay, but just to stop and be more in the presence of God, whether that be through playing and singing worship songs or listening to worship music, or just committing to really making sure I attend our home group every Wednesday evening, just finding those moments in the week where I can stop and be more of a Mary than a Martha. And so that was really encouraging at that moment, but it didn't stop there. As I was driving home that day, a song line just popped into my head. And it was a song which my sister wrote quite a few years ago now, probably about 10 years ago. She wrote and recorded a worship album, and I played cello for her on some of the tracks. And the songline that popped into my head was, "Give me the heart of Mary and let me sit at your feet." Now, at the time when I recorded that with her, I wasn't attending church. My faith was not a big part of my life. It was there, but it certainly wasn't a big part of my life at all. And at the time, I didn't make any link at all with the lyrics of that song and the Mary and Martha story. But obviously, on that day last week, I did. It suddenly sort of fell into place what that song was all about. And so I rang my sister and asked her if she could send me the song lyrics, and explained why it was significant, which she very kindly did, and she's allowed me to record the song. And I'd just like to share it with you now. So this is The Heart of Mary.
Toiling brings nothing but pain, when all the world's pleasures are given to me, but I realize that nothing was gained, when I'm worried and anxious for many things, struggling to meet every need. Give me the heart of Mary. Let me sit at your feet. There is a season for everything. There is a time for it all. A time for sorrow, a time to love, a time to dance and to mourn. When wise words have faded and darkness comes, when fools have the most things to say, give me the heart of Mary that cannot be taken away. For as we are born from a mother's womb, then comes a time to depart. We take nothing from labor or in our hands, but the gladness God gives to